Year A Lesson 15. God Sent a Man. Thursday's lesson is entitled The Final Test. Psalm chapter 37 verse 37. Mark the blameless man and observe the upright, for the future of that man is peace. Our Bible references are found in Genesis chapter 44 verse 1 to chapter 45 verse 24. Probably only Joseph and his steward knew that the brothers would have one more test. Joseph wanted to be sure that the changes he saw were real. What did he tell his steward? Genesis chapter 44 verses 1 and 2. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, Fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth. And put my cup, the silver cup, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his corn money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. The brothers were hardly out of the city when the steward caught up with them and accused them of stealing Joseph's silver cup. Read about the panic that followed. Genesis chapter 44, verses 7 to 13. And they said unto him, Wherefore saith my Lord these words? God forbid that thy servants should do according to this thing. Behold, the money which we found in our sack's mouth we brought again unto thee out of the land of Canaan. How then should we steal out of the Lord's house silver or gold? With whomsoever of thy servants it be found, both let him die, and we also will be my Lord's bondmen. And he said, Now also let it be according unto thy words. He with whom it is found shall be my servant, and ye shall be blameless. Then they speedily took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. And he searched, and began at the eldest, and left at the youngest. And the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Then they rent their clothes, and laded every man his ass, and returned to the city. They were terrified as they hurried back to Joseph. He pretended to be angry with them, but he insisted that only Benjamin would become his slave because the silver cup was found in his sack. The others were to go home. Judah had promised to return Benjamin safely to his father. As he made a beautiful and touching plea to be permitted to keep his promise, Joseph was convinced that his brothers had truly changed. They loved each other and were choosing to do right. They were no longer on Satan's side of the war. Joseph couldn't wait any longer to tell them who he was, and when he did, his brothers were so shocked they couldn't even speak. Was this powerful governor of Egypt really Joseph? They remembered everything they had done to him. Now he would surely take revenge. But did he? Genesis chapter 45 verses 1 to 5. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all men that stood by him, and he cried, Cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For God did send me before you to preserve life. Benjamin must have been shocked too. He was the only one of the brothers who didn't know what had actually happened to Joseph. All those years, he and his father had thought a wild animal had killed Joseph. Now the brothers apologized, and Joseph forgave them. How did Joseph finally convince his brothers that he truly loved them and didn't hold any hard feelings against them? Genesis chapter 45, verses 6 to 15. For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years, in the which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God, and he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Haste ye, and go up to my father, and say unto him, Thus saith thy son Joseph, God hath made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not. And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen, and thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks, and thy herds, and all that thou hast. And there will I nourish thee, for yet there are 5 years of famine, lest thou and thy household, and all that thou hast, come to poverty. And behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaketh unto you. And ye shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that ye have seen. And ye shall haste and bring down my father hither. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck, and wept. And Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brethren, and wept upon them. And after that his brethren talked with him. The news that Joseph's brothers had come soon spread to Pharaoh's palace. He immediately told Joseph to send carts or wagons with them for moving his whole family to the best part of Egypt. What did Joseph mean by his last words to his brothers as they left with the carts? Genesis chapter 45 verse 24. So he sent his brethren away, and they departed. And he said unto them, See that ye fall not out by the way. Let's apply it. How could Joseph be so forgiving of his brothers? Do you remember Joseph's decision on the way to Egypt years before? How should you treat those who are unkind to you?